Hi everybody. Hi. So guys, today we are continuing our defense and escaping the mountain semester. Last week we talked at length about protecting yourself in the mountain. We covered two main principles, or really actually three, which is that when you think about defending yourself in the mountain, there are three fields that I kind of have to acknowledge as separate. One is structural, one is sort of you might say active, and one is kind of based in using your feet. So what do I mean by that? Well, if Ben's on top of me in the mountain, if Ben's on top of me in the mountain, I can structurally block him from getting to my neck. But by structurally blocking him to get to my neck, if you come to an S mount or an arm bar, whatever it is you want to do, my elbows are so out of position to put structure in the way of my neck that I start exposing other things. Right? So we go back. So utilizing structure to block, to protect your neck is not really the most prudent idea. However, if I bring my elbows in, I hold my box, as I was talking earlier, right? This guy right here, and he goes to climb the high mount. Very strong from this. You literally just pick my feet up. Let's go for a ride, right? I'm very sturdy if I create these straight lines, right? I can use structure to block the high mount. What I want to think about is if, let's say we're here, okay, Ben, you start reaching for my collar. I'm just going to hand fight and go back to neutral. If I dedicate structure to blocking this, let's say you're going for 2-on-1 in Americana. Sure, I can double up my hands together and block this Americana, but does this look like a good position to you guys? Just base, if you don't even know anything. If I said, hey guys, let me drop you for a second, Ben. All right, guys, let's fight. Does this look like I'm in a good spot? No, right? This is terrible. So, as we noted, rather than thinking about, say, blocking an Americana with this 2-on-1, and I think this is really commonly where a lot of small people end up, is the big strong person gets a 2-on-1 on the Americana. Go ahead, start leaning on it. Just put go back, put 2 palms on my wrist and push me down. And they get here, and they're like, I won't get Americana. So then this person slides their left knee up behind their shoulders. Now they're getting their back taken. They're getting put technical down. All this different stuff. It's terrible. I want to think about actively defending kind of momentum-based attacks because I want you to do me a favor, and your goal is your left hand to pin my wrist to the floor, right hand to go over top, right, for the Americana. Yep, here you go back. It's if I'm here, okay, he starts going for my wrist, pin. You go to the gun. Go ahead. Right, I'm using the fact that an object in motion is easier to move than an object that is still. So if he's reaching away from his body to drop something, I'm not thinking about, oh, let me lock it so tight with structure that he can't break it. I'm beating it as it's in motion. Furthermore, finally, if he gets to say that S-mount position for the arm bar that we drove in the beginning, go ahead. I can now use my footwork to recover back to parallel. This is all well and good. This is all useful information. You can get back to them. But the problem is if I spend 5 minutes, it's the way I always like to phrase it is what you don't ever think to hear is hey man, you guys hear about what happened to Ben? No, what happened? Oh dude, someone attacked him the other day. Oh no. Well, how'd it go? He didn't get tapped.
He got a shit beat out.
If you get in a fight and you're oh, he didn't get tapped, dude, went the whole 5. Didn't get tapped. You're not accomplishing anything, right? I need to get the fuck out of here. This is bad. This is bad. I need to get him out of this, right? So, I got to start thinking about how to compromise this position, right? When we think about the mount position, I think that if we had to identify what is it that makes this position strong for him in regards to my position, is that Ben has cut me in half, right? I'm like the magician's assistant. He put me in the box, he sawed me in half, right? So, much of my strength is going to come from connecting my lower and upper halves of my body. Whereas because of the fact that Ben is sitting on my center line and splitting me in half, I can't do that, right? This is my first mount escape try. Right? So he's cut me in half, and furthermore, if we think about this, Ben, how much do you weigh? 185. Much better example than 1. See, this is helping me out, right? No, 185. So right now, Ben has taken 185 pounds, made it into this narrow wall. He's built a wall, but he's dropped it in the middle of it. Right? He has his wall between me and my legs. It's 180 pounds, or 185 pounds. So if we understand that the things that are making it hard for me to escape are, fundamentally speaking, A, the fact that he's cut me in half, and B, the fact that all of his weight is concentrated in one location, then we understand pretty quickly that really what it comes down to is my goal should be to connect the two halves of my body and or redistribute his weight off of this spot. Does that make sense, guys? So I have one primary method of, or principle to getting his weight off of me, which is if I can get his weight somewhere else, then it's not on me. I mean, it's pretty common sense. If his weight's not on me, it's somewhere else. The best place to put their weight is going to be their hands, because that is instinctively what they're going to do to catch themselves from falling. We're going to do a couple different ways. We're going to just start out practicing two main ways to make this happen. One, we're going to continue on with an escape later, and one we're just going to establish for today. The first one is the easiest one. Let me stop you for 1 second. And the reason why this is the easiest one is because all of my anatomy is reinforcing this motion. If you think about a bridge, if you imagine, like, if you were to draw a line, like John Madden or something, watching football plays, the direction my hips would go in a bridge, what would you say the line would draw, right? It would be like that way, right? That's the actual direction my hips drop when I bridge. I bring my feet close to my butt and I bridge without even favoring a side. Furthermore, I can reinforce that because when I bridge, I can knee, right? Once again, all going in that direction. Whew. Now, let me just make a note because sometimes people have trouble with this, is what I don't do is this. Coach, I can't keep my knee up. I'm not bridging, holding, and kneeing. It's all one big dramatic movement. Does that make sense, guys? Furthermore, actually, I'm sorry, one more. One of the strongest movements your body has with your upper body is a pull, right? This pulling mechanism, right? When you're doing lat work or something. I can utilize this as well. So if I have Ben on top of the mouth, he's here, let's just say he's kind of postured up like this. I'm going to do a big bridge, a big knee, and I can even, if I want to, reach up and grab him and pull him forward. You don't necessarily have to do that. You can do the belt as well, but it does reinforce, or cup the hips. But boom, his hands go heavy to the ground. Very simple, right? Go back. I'll do it real slow this time. Big bridge, big knee, and pull him forward. And then I got my box. I'm ready to start attacking his position. Let's say he doesn't want to get tipped forward. Let's say as I go to bridge, you're going to bridge your hips back into me. Right? And he's kind of surfs. I'm going to go ahead and stay squared up. My two hands are going to find under his rib cage. Actually, I'm reach your hands up. My two hands are going to find under his rib cage, and I'm going to tip him to a side. Now I got to bridge my hips at an angle to make that hand touch the floor. We're going to work on utilizing that more later in the semester, but it's a very important thing to have toggled because if we're here, okay, we're tussling, he's reaching for collar grips, a man fighting. Okay, that's cool, but he postures right back up, and then now he's wise to it. So I'm bridging, he's surfing. See what I'm saying? Like this becomes a really strong toggle just right away. We don't need to get into the weeds yet of get this work here, that work there, and grab and spin it and turn. Make your hand touch the floor and get it. Do you want to see all that? Huh? What? Okay, very cool. So invisible opponent. Let me actually make chatting. Number one, I'm bridging, kneeing, his hands post. I can reinforce that by pulling. I can grab the belt, I can grab the hips, I can grab the collars, whatever. But big bridge, poof, and I'm back. And once again, back to the sky right. That's one. Two, if when you bridge, they kind of bridge their hips back with you to surf the position. I'm bridging at an angle. Now I'm cutting the corner. Now my hips are going that way. Right? This is less efficient because the arc of my hips are now this, which is sort of against the direction of his hips that I'm pushing him. So I'm kind of like, there's a little bit of directional inefficiency in that. Does that make sense, guys? But it's still pretty strong. This is all these lines going whoosh right there. This is like a couple lines going there, a couple lines going there, generally pushing them to one side. So a big bridge, big tip, and then just work on coming up to an elbow. Does that make sense, everybody? So this part not work out. 1, 2, 3.